Okay, so remember, we are recording, all right.
I'll receive it. So, I'm a sub. If you have, just every home like today, I want to send you your 5 o'clock. I'm not used to it.
We make opposite clean. You make it work. Works your magic.
Welcome back, America. It sure is good to see you.
Are you still scooping one of those traditional dirty litter boxes where your cat has to step on poop to go poop? Meet Litter Robot, the highest rated automatic litter box in the world. It does all the dirty work for you. Don't be a scooper. Buy a Litter Robot.
Angie's List is now Angie, and summer is the perfect time to book your next home project. From landscaping to lawn care to the project of your dreams, Angie connects you with top pros and protects you with a happiness guarantee when you book and pay at Angie.com. Angie, and done.
Tenías que ponerte esa camisa.
Es mi camisa de la suerte, pero es que la uso en las mejores ofertas.
No la necesitas. Las mejores ofertas en smartphones son para todos.
Aunque ya estemos con el tiempo.
Everyone. Right, Lily?
That's right. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, but
Usually the picture of the doctor was not usually doing it. Oh my God. What?
behaviors in school or in any other areas? Like, how's school for you?
Well, sometimes it can be a little hard. Like sometimes I struggle with like
Getting her work done, even though she can't.
Okay, I see that.
There you are, we hear you through the.
You, okay. You can hear me now?
Yep. can hear you in the video.
We're good then, because I had no audio last time I tried to use this.
Now you got no video.
All right, I'm hanging up.
At least we can hear. Enough.
Okay.
All right. So sorry about that. I need to know which side it is. Can you come lay down? Come here. Lay
Yeah,
down,
go ahead, get started.
lay down. Good girl.
The
Keep going.
zoning board of
Alright.
appeals meeting for
Down.
Tuesday, June 22nd, at 7 o'clock.
Oh, I know.
Basically,
You were to put the sign on, I forgot.
yeah,
Oh, wait, be better.
You can mute him.
If I mute him, they won't be able to unmute.
if you can mute yourself when you're not speaking,
I have a picture now, work now.
it would eliminate a lot of feedback.
What, Lauren?
There's a pain in the neck. Now the picture's not working.
Who's a pain in the neck? The video's not working, but that's okay.
As long as he can see the screen, we should be good. If he can see what's on the screen, that's adequate for the participation.
Okay.
It actually doesn't even need.
Good evening, my name is Tony Frank Langia, and I'll be chairing the zoning board of appeals meeting for
Today.
Tuesday,
Want this
June
one, Ollie?
22nd. I guess you can only
You
hear
want
me.
one?
This is a hybrid meeting being held in person at the town hall and by Zoom video and telephone conference. Meeting access was provided and posted on the town website for the commission members, applicants, and other interested persons to participate. Again, for those listening, I would ask that you mute your device or phone if you're able to do so, so that we do not get any background noise. Please also try to use a handset when available. Speakerphones and Bluetooth may cause interference. When it's time for individuals to speak, I'll ask you to unmute your phone and identify yourself. If a number of people ask to speak, we ask that you be patient until it's your turn. Every time you speak, you must state your name and your title for the record. Please do not speak over one another so that everyone who is listening can hear what is being said, and we have a clear record for the town. Other than that, we usually listen to the applications in the order that they're received. After we hear the applications, we'll go into old business and vote on the applications. During the new business portion of the meeting, which is the first half of the meeting where we listen to the applications in the order they're received, we ask you to come up, state your hardship, state your application details, and sign in. I think there's a sign-in sheet here. And you can use the microphone over to our right over here. Other than that, are there any questions with regards to, I also want to introduce the board members. On my left is Brian Zelik, and on my right is Sandra Coppola and Nelson Graca. Also, on the Zoom meeting, we have Leonard Tubbs. So there's 5 members to the panel tonight, which is the normal amount of people, I guess, for a quorum.
Don't you think you're gonna take care of Ollie's? Wanna go out, Ollie? Wanna go outside? Go out? That's Susan, you think? No, that's Susan.
Okay,
Go out, Ollie?
Kristen, are you muted? Oh, okay. Oh, I just saw that. Okay. At that point, let's get started. If there are no questions, we can go ahead and start with the first item on the agenda. Public hearing ZBA 2021-13, 211 New Britain Road, map 3-3, block 28, lot 12. Robert Becker, President, Town Place Condominium Association, is requesting a variance for a freestanding sign located 10 feet from the street line, where 50 feet is required for a principal structure located greater than 75 feet from the CCD1 zone, from the street line, in the CCD1 zone. Regulations 986 E4. Speaking for the application. Floor is yours, Mr. Becker.
Thank you. President Town Place Condominium Association. Our building is located at 211 New Britain Road, which is a state road, very busy traffic there. The map that we presented to you is actually a little old. There's a row of trees there, which have since been removed because we wanted the building more visible. Now we would like to put a sign in front of the building indicating the offices in the building. It was built in 1987. I've been involved in the building since 1995. There's a peninsula coming down from the sidewalk where we would like to place this sign. The only alternative place is a peninsula closer to the building, but on this larger drawing, it's difficult to see on the small one. We've got a storm drain in the middle of that parking lot, which runs underneath that closer peninsula, making it impossible to excavate for footings for freestanding sign. So our only alternative is the sign position on that front peninsula, which is within that 50 feet, which is why we applied for the variance. Again, it's this busy road, there's traffic up and down there. We don't want any accidents, people looking for the building. We're adding additional signage to the building indicating that it does have a name, which people don't know, which is Town Place. That will be clearly marked on the building along with putting the number in a more visible spot as well as on the sign. So again, we're trying to prevent traffic accidents and make our building, which I think frankly is one of the most beautiful buildings in town. People still think it's new, but it's over 30, probably close to 35 years old. We just recently upgraded the parking lot and upgraded our plantings 360 around the building, and we just want to maintain the good appearance of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Becker?
I don't have it.
Any questions?
I have none.
Okay, thank you.
Chris wants to speak.
He's waving.
It's muted.
He's got
I think he's good now.
He did.
I'm unmuted. Hold on one second. Let me. Edge, 240 Kensington Road, Economic Development Director. I've been working with Bob and the property owners there for some time. The nice thing about this is it's condos. It's owners. They all are great businesses. They're working through the facade program actually for the signage. I think this is important because it will finally give them some designation. Right now, both myself and others tell people it's between McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts. It's not a great way to describe one of the nicest buildings in town, as Bob had said. Very much in favor of this economic development as well. And looking to put a really nice classy sign up there, and hope you will work with Bob and hopefully can make this happen. And excited to be here, even though I'm not there in person, to speak on behalf of this, because they had worked really hard. We did with them to find someone that really would work in the area and help showcase the folks that are there. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Any other questions? Any comments in favor of the application? Any comments in opposition to the application? Staff comments?
I just want to reiterate the items noted in the staff report written by our zoning enforcement officer, that the configuration of the property as it relates to the other lots along the street and the other buildings along this street. There was noted that there was a wetland behind this property that may not have dictated somewhat where the building was put on the lot, as well as parking, etc. Lots are currently required to be 2 acres in the CCD1 zone, and this lot is approximately 1.37 acres, so it's non-conforming in that regard. There are other signs along the road that are much closer to the property line, the front property line, that conform with the zoning, likely because those buildings are within the set, a much closer setback and meet the 10-20 rule, as we call it, with regard to its distance from the building. And that's why they can be situated in conformance with the regulations. There are many, the setback for buildings is only 5 feet. He noted the configuration of the location of the proposed sign as compared to alternatives, the parking and drives, the site planning for the property as approved and developed and redeveloped mostly recently, would preclude the sign from an area that would be basically in the middle of the lot if he was to meet with the zoning requirements at this time. I think that just, and reference back to the staff report and then hardship as presented. By
You know,
the
the sign is illuminated.
It should not be internally illuminated, is it?
It's not internally, it's ground lighted for both
Okay,
sides.
I thought, I was thinking about something like this instead. Lights, flashing lights all the way around.
Yeah, so just illuminated.
We do have, the sign itself will be subject to the getting a zoning permit, a building permit, and zoning review will be part of that permit to make sure that the size of the sign complies. We didn't ask for a variance of that, so the size will still need to be comply with the regulations, and the and illumination, et cetera, all compliant with the design standards, which are the Farmington Avenue design standards to apply up New Britain Road as well.
Beautiful. Any other comments?
I believe the design as I'm looking at it appears to be compliant
not too
with
tall,
those
right?
design
Like
regulations.
7 feet.
Or rather with those design standards. Dimensionally, I didn't do those calculations until we have those working drawings from the sign.
What is the dimensions?
I would have to look them up.
I think it's in here. 67
Yeah,
inches.
I'm sure it
Yeah.
is. We appro-
5.5 feet.
I know we provided them on a couple of occasions.
Pretty standard
Yeah.
size.
Oh, no flashing lights or anything like that, like Las Vegas, so it's okay. Make a motion, we close the hearing on this application.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, Maureen, want to take the roll?
Chairman,
Aye.
Lenny Tubbs,
Aye.
Nelson Graca,
Aye.
Sandra Catola. Aye. Ryan Zelik.
Aye.
Okay, closed. Unanimously closed.
Okay. Moving on to the next application, CBA 2021-14, 117 Sun Meadow Drive, map 17-1, block 133, lot 26M. Mark Woolen, property owner, is requesting a variance for westerly side yard of 3 feet when 10 feet is required in the R21 zone for Berlin zoning regulation 5810 for a detached 10 by 20 foot accessory pool shed. Speaking for the application.
Right here.
Okay, you can have the microphone and you can sign in over here somewhere, I guess.
There's a sign
It's the same
sheet
here.
right there.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
And you're Mark, right?
I am Mark, I am the property owner.
Okay.
Make for 1 second, if you would, just when he's done, go sign in. Thank you.
Do you have, I was told to bring copies of everything, so I do have copies, but you also have.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is it gonna be? Is it on the screen too, or?
Yep.
or no?
Bringing it up now. It's
Okay.
gonna be appearing. As you start talking, I'll go to the right screen.
Well, I was gonna talk to the presentation. So whatever is. most suitable.
Maybe that, start there.
It's your property.
Yeah, I don't think I created that one, no. But that shows the location, so yeah, above it showed the location from the front of the house where the X is, that's behind the house, adjacent to the pool and along the fence. You can see there as well from a slightly different angle, and I have other pictures that'll show more detail where that is and what's around it and why that kind of is the only place that we really have to put the shed. If you go up a little bit more in back, like or down or whatever gets earlier in the presentation. One more, okay, good. So I mean, first of all, thank you for hearing this, much appreciated. I wanted to introduce myself and my family, we're part of this. I'm Mark Elam, it's my wife in the back, Lillian, son Zachary, and our good friend Mark, who owns the landscaping company that we're working with that's doing the work. And part of the issue we have is just the way the lot is laid out and the way the elevations work on the lot as well. If you can go to the next one. And just so you know who we are, we've not been to this committee before, but we were members of this town. We built that house 18 or 19 years ago. We attend town functions, we attend town schools, I coach town sports. My wife's a board member of the library. You know, we are the fabric of the town. We are making an investment in the town, and we consider this our home. And we hope that you consider this request in that context. If you can go down the next one. So this is what we're looking, this is what we want to build. It's a 10 by 20 foot pool shed. So kind of standard, 11 feet 4 inches at the top of the roof, 20 feet across, 10 feet back. We're going to break it up. It's going to have 2 sections. One is just going to be like a washing, changing kind of an area, and the rest is really just storage. I mean, this is, we just put in the pool, and it's amazing how much stuff you accumulate with a pool. So the storage is very important for us. Go down. So this is this is from Google Earth or Google Maps. It shows where our
places. You can see our lot, it's hard to see in the picture there, what's next to us, but you can see our lot with the arrow. And then behind us is the highway, that's Route 9 behind us. And that's one of the things that we're trying to address, that the highway's loud, especially in the late afternoon or early morning. A couple of times that we really like to be outside. So there's a lot of noise from the highway. So one of the things that we're trying to do is sort of get rid of some of that noise, block some of that noise. And then also you can't see it here, but you'll see it in another picture. There's a warehouse of some sort that's like directly behind our house. And that is a little bit unsightly when we're sitting out by the pool. So if you look, this is a zoom in on the property, and you can see how our property is kind of like a triangle. Well, not really a triangle, but kind of, and then with an opening in the front. And you can see where the house is on the front spot. And on the left side, that's where the pool is, and that's where we want to build a shed. That is, I think, so we build a temporary hockey rink in the winter. And I think Google must have taken this picture when we had our little hockey rink up, because we do not have a structure there. That is just grass right now. It's actually sand and dirt. That's going to be grass. And then off to the right, if you just stay where you were just for a second, when you go deeper into that triangle, that's all wooded. That's not really usable land for us right now, and it's of different elevations, and it really is not a functional piece of the property in terms of doing some of the stuff that we're trying to do with the yard.
There you go.
Yeah, you can go down. This is just a more detailed view, and we really have it broken down into a couple spaces. We've got the pool on the left. We've got this, I'm calling it the play area. That's where we build the little hockey rink. That's where we want to play volleyball, and badminton, and things like that. And then we've got this whole tree area on the right. And the yard is also has different elevations. It's not completely level. And the elevations are higher at the right and lower on the left. And so each one of those blue lines represents a wall. 2-3 foot wall that we have to build to support the different elevations. The reason that's important is because I'll show you when we talk about the pool shed, the wall gets in the way. So if you go down to the next one, this is just a little bit more detail of how things are set up. So you can see where the pool is. The shading on the left and the right, that's the, I forgot the right word for it, but that's the area we're not supposed to go into. On the left, the variance side, on the left, or the easement on the left, and then it's 10 feet on the left, 15 feet on the back. And so I've shown within the pool area where things are. If you look at the play area, that's over on the right, again, that's on a higher elevation. And then the tree area, again, on a higher elevation further away. In the back, you'll see we've got a row of green, those are arborvitaes that we've planted as a privacy and sound barrier. So we've got that for most of the way, but now that we've got the pool, we want to finish that line. That's still within our property line. We want to finish that to the edge, to have that privacy barrier. So there's really, ignore the numbers. I screwed up on the numbers of the sheds. It's on the locations. It's correct after this, but there's 4, looking at it, where could we possibly put this thing? Starting on the right-hand side, if we did it in the front of the pool on the top, if there's a wall, so it can't go there. If we moved it further to the right, then it would be right inside that play area where we have the rink and volleyball, and like it would really kind of sort of really wreck the whole purpose of having that space in the yard. And plus the shed would be on a different level over a wall from the pool, and that would be weird and awkward. And I'll go through each of these and have a picture. I'll show you what things look like. But you can see that two out of the 4 spots we run into the problem with the wall. The other 2 we run into problems with the setback rules. If you go down now. So this is kind of what it looks like now. We're a little further along in this. So we've got the 4 locations, and you can kind of see, where the wood is, that represents the end of the play area. On the other side of that, you can see how it drops down and where the pool is situated. Let's go down another, so looking at it, this is not looking at it the other way, so if you just turn it around and look at it the other way. So taking the 4 locations one at a time, this location, location 1, it would fall, you could see, there's only about 5 feet between the edge of the pool coping and where the wall starts. So there's not enough room to build it before the wall. The only other option would be on top of that area. And again, that would really kind of destroy what we're trying to build in the back. This is option 2 on the other side of the pool. This option as well, it runs into the problem with the wall. The wall's actually there. Now you can't see, it's not yet built in this picture, but you can see how the ground is sort of chunked out over there. So this one, it wouldn't fit. If it, on the top, you can also see to the right of where it says location 2, you can see the pool equipment. And so all the pool mechanicals are there. So if we put the shed up there, it would have to go past that, which at that point, we would have the back of the shed kind of equal with the front of our house, which would sort of look a little, I don't think that would look very good. And it also would put the shed over a wall, down the lawn from where the pool is, which again, wouldn't really be a very functional place to have it.
Can I just add that I'm not sure it would comply with zoning in that location either, because it might be too close to the house to
Okay.
have the pool remain compliant. So
Got it, okay.
there might be, and I don't know, I didn't do that calculation, but that appears to be, it could be a problematic, additional reason for a problem with that location.
So location 3, this one also goes into the setback, so this one's not compliant either. Also, we want to use that space, we want to run those arborvitaes. You can see on the right, one over there, it's kind of dying a slow death, but we want to extend that line, and you can see beyond it too, you can see I don't know if it's a factory, a warehouse, whatever it is, but there's that forever cars in there driving around, and also can't see it here, but if you look maybe another few hundred yards, that would be Route 9, and the sound comes in there as well. So we want to use that, create that privacy screen there. So this leaves us with location 4. It's really the last thing. This one as well runs into the setback, so this is not compliant either. A few things though on this one, we're actually just about where it says location 4. We used to have a group of trees there before we put the pool in, and that group of trees created a little bit of privacy with our neighbors on the other side. And you can see the neighbors have their own pool and they spend time in their backyard. And they kind of liked it when we had those trees there because that gave them a little privacy from us. We had to take that batch of trees down to build the pool. So now we don't have that. So one of the things that the neighbors, and this is one of the letters I have from Ross and Amy Clement, they actually prefer that we place the shed there because at 11 feet, it'll be about 5 feet higher than the wall, and it'll give back some of that privacy screen that they used to have with the trees. I have letters also from both direct neighbors and one second neighbor, from David and Lynn Ford, and then from Barry and Sally and Scott. This is the letters there. One of them, I think, Marina, might not have gotten in on time to make it into the bundle.
No.
Oh, no, it did. Oh, you got it.
It's there. These are the 3 letters.
So
They don't need to be read into the record because they are posted, but if you so choose.
Do you have a copy of the one from the next door neighbors? Because the one in the packet was so light.
Yeah, it's so
I couldn't
light.
read it.
I know.
We are having quite a bit of trouble with that copy machine. I spent a lot of time on that the other
See
day.
it, Murray?
So you want me to read it? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
I
read
am
it.
so sorry. Mine is better.
I got the signatures. that's
I just
good.
think it's,
Oh, I looked at it.
I just
file.
want to hear that one since it is the neighbor it would directly affect, so I'd just like to hear what they have to say.
It might be easier for me to read it than you on the screen, so is that
Yeah, go ahead.
fine with you? Okay, is this Ross and Amy Clement, 113 Sun Meadow Drive, East Berlin, June 22nd, 2021. Caption, to whom it may concern, it has come to our attention that our neighbors at 117 Sun Meadow Drive are requesting a variance of the side setback rule for the property line that we share. We are writing this letter to express our support for the requested variance. Until recently, there was a group of trees along our shared property line that helped to provide a privacy screen for both our backyards. As those trees were removed to support the installation of our neighbor's pool, we have lost this shared screen. Our neighbor's proposal to install a 10 by 20 shed measuring approximately 11 feet 4 inches at the top near our share line will help to restore some of the privacy screen that we shared earlier. To help both our families enjoy the solitude of our yards, we genuinely hope that you grant the request for this exception. Sincerely, Ross and Amy Clement.
Thanks, Mark.
And then there's another letter from Lynn and David Ford, and a third letter from Sally Ann and Barry Scott on Seven Meadow Drive as well.
Yeah.
Those I made out.
So that's our story. Hope that you consider it. We have the support of the neighbors, and I think it'll be a good positive addition to the area.
Just one question, the proposed wash area, change area in the shed, is that gonna be a bathroom or is that just like a sink area?
We've kind of gone back and forth on that. I think we want to do like a little bathroom if we can.
I can add to that, depending on the fixtures and the construction, depends on the extent of which plumbing is allowed in an accessory unit, but
That's where I was going with
you
this.
have wash in a barn, that kind of thing, and that's fine. It can't be capable of being converted to a dwelling or habitable unit.
It cannot be.
It cannot be used as a habitable unit according to the current regulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
That's the only question I have. I don't. Thank you.
No, and we're just asking for any further questions, comments, questions regarding the application. We have to get all the comments and questions regarding the applications out during the first part of the meeting, because we can't introduce any new information during the second part of the meeting.
Okay.
From a legal perspective, so we have to, kind of ask. But if there's any other questions from people, Lenny, anybody else that's listening in? Are there any other questions for Mr.?
None.
None?
I have none.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Mark. No other questions. I'll make a motion to close the hearing on the application.
I'll second it.
The motion made and seconded. Maureen, can you take the roll?
Chairman,
Aye.
Lenny Tubbs,
Aye.
Nelson Braca,
Aye.
Sandra Capola,
I,
Ryan Zeller.
Aye.
Okay, that's closed. We will go into old business. Okay, ZBA 2021-13 to 11 New Britain Road, map 3-3, block 28, lot 12. Robert Becker, President, Town Place Condominium Association, is requesting a variance for a freestanding sign located 10 feet from the street line when 50 feet is required for a principal structure located greater than 75 feet from the street line in the CCD1 zone per Berlin zoning regulation 9A6E4.
I make a motion to approve this application as read. I think it was tastefully done. I myself have driven by the building a couple of times, getting distracted by Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, so I think it's nice for the tenants in there and the businesses in town. And I drove down again, and 279 New Britain Road has a sign right on the street, and this is a lot nicer than that one. So I think it'd be
I'll second it.
for that.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded by Mr. Tubbs. Any discussion?
No.
Maureen, you can take the roll.
Chairman,
Aye.
Lenny Tubbs,
Aye.
Nelson Braca,
Aye.
Sandra Capola,
I,
Ryan Zeller.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night.
thank you.
Uh, ZBA 2021-14, 117 Sun Meadow Drive, map 17-1, block 130, lot 26M. Mark Woolen, property owner, is requesting a variance for a westerly side yard of 3 feet when 10 feet is required in the R21 zone per Berlin zoning regulation 5810 for a detached 10-foot by 20-foot accessory pool shed. I make a motion to approve this application.
I'll second it.
Got a motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
No, my only concern was the, what I brought up with Maureen about the residential part of it, but barring that, I don't have a problem.
That's been noted already, so that's good. Okay,
We have to get the permits to cover.
Maureen, take a roll.
Chairman Frank Blanchia,
Aye.
Lenny Tubbs,
Aye.
Nelson Greco,
Aye.
Sandra Capola,
Aye.
Ryan Zeller.
Aye.
Can I just get a clarification? Was that Ryan that seconded that motion?
No, I did
No?
nothing.
Nelson, I'm sorry, I was looking down.
Okay, the only other thing that we have on the agenda is approval of
We're good, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Take care.
Thank you.
The only other item we have is approval of minutes for the May 25th meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll just note that it appears Nelson Greco is not at the meeting, so. No voting.
Frank Blanchard, Tubbs, Capola, and Zeller.
So we got 4.
You got
Yeah.
4, we're good.
We do have a quorum, just
So we got a motion made, I'll second it. Meeting minutes got pretty extensive because of one application, but I read them.
I have a mind block, but I forget which one.
I did read too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know, I remember.
No, the strikers.
Sliders.
Sliders. Yeah, don't get the two confused because I did that.
I'm sorry, it was Sliders Cafe, and the application was denied, and I guess there was a lot of comments made not in favor of the application, as you can see from the minutes. Anyway, we have the minute, motion made and seconded, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so we've got all 4. I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting.
Make a motion or second.
We have a motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night,
I
Lenny.
think this is a record for the last 5 meetings we had.
Right?
I think in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
You
7.
could be right.
Hey, Lenny, we're getting good at this.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, Lenny.
Good night.
Good night.